Hi everybody, I'm Paxash and today I'm trying something new. I've always been fascinated by cryptids and cryptozoology, so I decided I would do a series of videos profiling various creatures. So without further ado, here is the inaugural episode of Paxash Profiles. The Ozark Howler, also known as the Ozark Black Howler or just the Howler, is a cryptid that supposedly resides in remote areas of Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Texas. There are varying descriptions of the Ozark Howler. The most general description is of a creature the size of a bear, with a thick, stocky body, shaggy hair, a beard, glowing eyes, and sometimes even having horns protruding out of its head. Some witnesses have claimed it resembles a giant cat, bigger than a cougar. Others have described it as a cat-like monster with horns and glowing eyes. Most sightings agree that it is black or at least dark in color. The cry of the Ozark Howler, according to the Wikipedia entry, is described as being a combination of a wolf's howl and an elk's bugle. However, there have also been reports from near Dardanelle in the Arkansas River Valley that describe the Ozark Howler as having a cry similar to the laugh or bark of a hyena. An article published on 4029tv.com on December 15, 2015, shows photos submitted by a viewer of what is claimed to be the Ozark Howler. The photos were supposedly taken along the Yellow Rock Trail at Devil's Den in Arkansas. The submitter claimed there was no photoshopping involved, but the writer of the article expressed skepticism, and frankly, so do I. There was also a claim of a sighting earlier this year, 2016, in Benton County, Arkansas. However, I couldn't find a source for this other than Wikipedia, and there was no citation given on Wikipedia's page. The origins of the Ozark Howler legend aren't very clear. One website I found claimed that there were sightings as far back as the early 1800s. In the 1950s, there was a supposed sighting where the Ozark Howler was described as a black, goat-like creature. The idea that the Ozark Howler is a cat-like creature supposedly originates from a sighting in the early 80s when a truck driver who had pulled off the road for the night described seeing a black, cat-like creature that had a long tail, shaggy fur, a stocky build, a beard, and red eyes. There has been speculation that the Ozark Howler might merely be a misidentified big cat. The Arkansas Fish and Game Department does not recognize its existence as a previously unknown animal because no one has ever caught one or recovered a body, and instead says that these sightings are actually of pet panthers that have somehow escaped captivity. In the cryptozoological community, it has been suggested that the Ozark Howler is related to the dark dogs of death from British folklore, which are creatures said to be associated with hellhounds or the devil. Others in the cryptozoological community believe the entirety of the Ozark Howler myth is a hoax. In his book Cryptozoology, Science and Speculation, Chad Arment writes of how he and other cryptozoologists received emails with outrageous claims of a creature called the Ozark Howler. The messages were traced back to a university student. It was revealed that this student, after mocking how myths of the chupacabra had spread across the internet in the 90s, made a bet he could fool this cryptozoological community. Wikipedia's entry claims that there were witnesses who reported seeing it prior to the hoax, thereby invalidating the idea that the hoax was the origin. However, Lauren Coleman, a very prominent figure in the cryptozoological community, has an explanation for that. I'll link to his full explanation, but basically he claims that the hoaxer planted these older claims to make everything more believable, and that Wikipedia's writers knew of this and were being a bit disingenuous. So is the Ozark Howler real in the sense that any recognized cryptid is real, or was it all just part of an elaborate hoax by a bored university student? I'll leave it up to you to decide.